Hello, my name is Frankie, owner of Bosque Mobile Bicycle Repair, located in the city of Albuquerque and the state of New Mexico. The state of New Mexico is located in the United States of America. This video will recommend puncture-resistant tires, tubes, and tire liners, combinations of puncture resistance, how to choose the right tire size, information about the products and installation. If you want more information about installing a tire and tube, please check out my YouTube channel for a video on that subject. No bicycle tire is puncture proof. It is puncture resistant. If an object is sharp and strong enough, hits your bicycle tire at the right angle and pressure, it will puncture your tire. That is a fact. Reality sucks. This video will recommend tires for air-filled rubber inner tubes. This video will not cover or recommend tubeless and solid inner tubes. My recommendations and advice for puncture-resistant products will be better than tubeless tires. In the video, I am picking up a piece of cholla cactus, which has extremely sharp thorns that are fishhook shaped. I did not get a flat on this trail. My recommendations are good. I am on a bike path located in southern Arizona, a mountain in Buckeye, Arizona. A lot of cactus plants such as chollas, saguaros, and ocotillos. I live in the southwestern part of the United States, a desert environment with sharp thorns from plants. Cactuses, mesquite, yuccas, aguaves, saguaros, ocotillos, and more plants that are sharp. The most notorious are tumbleweed plants that leave goat heads on the road. The road conditions are not good either. A lot of trash and litter, glass, debris from vehicle accidents. Think post-apocalyptic. Unfortunately, there are not a lot of brands and manufacturers that make excellent puncture-resistant tires. I have to have good tires to survive my environment. I have personally tested and approved of these specific tires. When I say specific, that means I only recommend the model from that brand. Other models from the brands I do not recommend because I have not tried them and or they are not puncture resistant. Here is some helpful information before we get started. The size of your tire will be on the sidewall. If it is hard to see the measurements on the sidewall of the tire, get a colored marker or crayon that contrasts well with the color of your tire. In the video, I am using a red China marker. Slightly rub the marker on the sidewall to display the measurements. You will also find the PSI rating and directional arrows for the rotation of the tire. When replacing your inner tube, make sure you have the correct size and are using the correct valve for your rim. Tubes with sealant inside are recommended. Okay, this is a Schrader valve. As you can see, it is the same as a car valve. This is a Presta valve. It's very skinny, narrow, and long. Do not put a Presta valve in a bicycle rim that is drilled for a Schrader. As you can see, this rim is drilled for a Schrader valve. There's a lot of play in the rim, between the rim and the valve. If you do this, if you put the Presta valve in a rim that is drilled for a Schrader such as this, you will get a rip at the base of the Presta valve, causing a flat. This is a tear, as you can see. This will happen if you do so. They do sell adapters, so you can use a Presta valve with a rim that is drilled for a Schrader. Preferably use an inner tube that is slightly smaller in width for the following puncture resistant tires. This will make installation much more easier. For example, if you have the Surface Seca Survivor series in the tire size 700C by 28, you can use an inner tube that is 700C by 25. For the Schwalbe Marathon Plus tire, you have to use an inner tube that is smaller in width because the tire is so thick. For other recommended tires, you may or may not, depending on the brand of inner tube and tire you use. The manufacturers are not exact and consistent in the thickness of tubes and tires. I have noticed slight differences using and buying multiple tires that are the same brand and model. The manufacturing process changes and the quality control is not exact. A new tire can be slightly thicker or thinner, even though it is the same make and model. I have noticed that Continental Gator Skin tires are not as durable as when I first used them. That is why I do not recommend them. If you want to upgrade and add durability to the puncture resistant tires, add a tire liner or super thick inner tube. This does not apply to the Schwalbe Marathon Plus because it is durable enough. I do not recommend combining a super thick inner tube and tire liner with the recommended puncture resistant tires. It is not necessary. But if you do experiment, let me know the results. I prefer adding a super thick inner tube rather than a tire liner. It is a smoother ride. Note, if you are using a tire liner with any of these tires, you would have to use an inner tube that is slightly smaller in width because the tire liner will take up inner tube space. I do recommend using a tube sealant. This will add and improve to the puncture resistance. Tube sealant will clog, harden, and seal small holes in the tube. Slime is the most popular and can be bought at most US retailers. In the photo is a Sunlight super thick inner tube with sealant. The sealant was effective in clogging a small hole. Sunlight has very good sealant. They call their super thick inner tubes thorn resistant. Most super thick inner tubes from other brands have sealant in them already. Unfortunately, all sealants will over time clog the valve. Most tubes that have a sealant in them come with a removable valve core. A new valve core is cheap. The tool is inexpensive. It is not difficult to replace the valve core. Use the appropriate tool and valve for a Presta valve or Schrader valve. This is a Salsa Bicycle that I just cleaned, and it has the Schwalbe Marathon Plus tires on it. The owner said He has not gotten a flat in 2 years. The Schwalbe Marathon Plus tire is the most puncture-resistant tire that uses an air-filled rubber inner tube. Make sure it says plus. It is extremely difficult to put on. If you do not have a lot of experience installing tires, I do not recommend you try installing the tire. The tire has a multi-use tread, can survive urban environments with sharp debris. I have even used the tire for off-roading in desert environments. Third world country approved. Just kidding. The tire is e-bike rated. That means it is more durable and can withstand the stress from an electric bicycle. You have to use an inner tube with a slightly smaller width. More information on installing the tire at the end of the video. It has a highly reflective sidewall for safety and costs around $55 US. On the right side is the Schwalbe Marathon Plus tire after being ridden for 6 months every day. On the left is a brand new Schwalbe Marathon Plus tire. The Survivor series from Surface are really good puncture resistant tires. Surface is the brand. The second models are road tires. They are better than the Continental Gator Skins. I have heard positive results about the Drifter model. Make sure it is the Survivor series with their flat protection system. The Thick Slick model from WTB are very good puncture resistant tires. WTB is the brand and Thick Slicks are the model. This tire has no tread at all, hence the slick name. Make sure it has the flat guard. This is their protection system. Fixed gear riders love this tire for skidding and its durability. Warning, there are other brands that have a thick slick model and look similar. You may confuse the tires for the WTB thick slicks. I do not recommend thick slick tires from other brands. And lastly are the Continental Contact Plus tires. Make sure it says plus on the tire. Super sexy tires with a multi-use tread for on-road and moderate off-road use. A highly reflective sidewall for safety. Continental's rubber compound has very good traction and performance on the road. If you want the tire to have almost the same durability as the Schwalbe Marathon Plus, I recommend you use a super thick inner tube with the tire, as shown in the upcoming video. Continental makes good tires, a lot of tires for performance and racing. The rubber compound is best for traction. I do not recommend the Gator Skin tires. They are more for performance, racing, and road bicycle training. This tire is for someone who wants durability and still wants to go fast. If you add a tire liner or super thick inner tube to the Gator Skin, it will be durable. Not as durable as the other tires. We have a specialized hard rock bicycle. old school, steel, chromoly. This bicycle right here is going to be better than 99% of all the bicycles on the bike path. What are the 3 things that are garbage on a bicycle when it is brand new? The tires, the seat, and the pedals. He wants to ride comfortably without a flat. So he bought new tires, a super thick inner tube, and a new bicycle seat. I'm not a big fan of Bontrager. I would have went with the Surface, but the shop he went to only had Bontrager's seats. The Boulevard saddle. For comfort. This guy's not a big guy, so these are super thick inner tubes. 3.5 millimeter thickness. These are sunlights. And then he got Continentals. Contact plus travel. Bam. 58 psi max. 26 by 1.75. And I highly recommend this combination. With the Continentals, if you do not want to get a flat, throw in a super thick inner tube. They have a lot of puncture protection in this area, but the sidewalls, they lack in puncture protection. It is still thicker. They have thicker sidewalls than most bicycle tires, and a reflective rim strip right here. A nice reflective rim strip. People always compliment me on my bicycle tires because I have a reflective rim strip on it. But this is very important for safety, and it is very reflective. That's what I love about Continentals. So the recommended pressure, 45 to 58 psi. This is the diameter. The 26 is the diameter of the wheel. The 1.75 is the width of the tire. This is the 1.75 right here. As you can see, this is nice. That's nice, with that little slit in the middle. That's to protect the goods. Okay, let's just call it the goods. I do not like Bontrager tires. They're horrible. This guy got the good stuff. This is a tank. This is a bicycle you could possibly go touring with. You could tour with this bicycle cross country. It's just a survivor, you know, zombie apocalypse type bicycle. This is a the perfect zombie apocalypse type bicycle. And here we have it. The specialized hard rock with new tires on it. Oh yeah. And what do we have here? A new bicycle seat. What? The Bontrager Boulevard. I just sat on it. It was not a bad seat. Oh yeah, talking about here. That was our old seat right there. Ooh. Tread. Oh yeah. New tires. Okay, these are the Schwalbe Marathon Pros. These are the best puncture resistant tires you can get. We're going to be installing these. These are very hard to put on. Okay, before I install the tire, I am going to pour foot powder or talcum powder into the tire. This prevents the inner tube from sticking inside of the tire. I highly recommend you do this, especially for this type of tire, because it's never going to come off. I'm going to put a little bit in here. You're going to put a little bit of talcum powder in here, and then you're going to spin the tire, rotate the tire. It's okay to leave a little bit in there, but make sure it's not too excessive. Before you insert the tube into your tire, inflate it a little bit so it seats correctly into the tire. So we're going to leave the valve stem last, that part of the tire, because it is easier if you leave that portion of the tire on. This tire, you have to push it inwards and then push downwards on it so the bead can seat on the rim. And once you get past a certain point, you're going to have to hold the tire, because it's going to pop off once you start getting closer to the valve. This is the tire levers that I recommend are Bontrager's red tire levers. They're super thick and they have a round edge. I say, hey, get up and stand over here. Or I'll face you. This is gonna be bad. Move the tire inwards so you have some more space. I'm gonna hold this one. sliding off. Let me face you. Okay, you gotta be careful because the inner tube, you gotta hold this because this is gonna slide off. You gotta be careful, you do not want to pinch the inner tube. It can get in between the tire. Okay, that's the tire. That's the tire. So since I got it this far, I'm gonna squeeze another tire lever. Make sure you have a rounded tip tire lever. Okay, there we go. Bam. Push in the valve, push up the valve. That way it's easier to put on the tire. Okay, there you go. Massage the tire back and forth so the bead sits on the rim. Make sure it sits on there correctly. Okay. A little bit of air into the tire, but not enough to where you cannot bend the tire backwards and see in between the rim and the tire bead. What you're doing is you're going to check to make sure that the inner tube is not in between the tire and the rim, causing a pinch flat. Just a slight little bit of air to make it firm but not too tight. You want to check both sides, starting at the valve, and I'm turning the wheel, checking. Thank you for watching this instructional video. Hit the like button and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. Wear a helmet and ride safe. If you're ever in Albuquerque, New Mexico, give me a call if you need a repair. Thank you and goodbye.